Good morning and welcome. This is a very important day and a very emotional day, but I wanted to welcome all of our families and our friends that are here that came out to see our soldiers off on this deployment. Our soldiers and airmen that are in the audience, I appreciate you being here. I thank you for what you do for the state of Arkansas and the citizens of this great country. Congressman Hill, thank you so much for being here, and I have to say, Congressman Hill is a tremendous supporter of our military community here in the district. We have had a close relationship ever since he went to Congress, and he played a big role in helping the Arkansas National Guard get a cyber mission out at Little Rock Air Force Base that will be a great mission for the state of Arkansas and the citizens of this great state to provide cyber protection for many, many, many years to come. And if it wasn't for a lot of the support from him and his staff, we would have never gotten that. So, Congressman, thank you, sir, for your support and your continued support for us. Now, the Congressman, he'll be going back to Washington, D.C. in the morning. You're going to go fight the war, and he's going to go fight the battle, or he's going to go fight the war, and you're going to fight the battle, one or the other, but he's leaving in the morning to go back and do our nation's business. So, and Governor, thank you for being here, and I'll introduce our Commander-in-Chief here in a few minutes, but I just wanted to make a few brief comments, if I may. I had the privilege last night to attend a function over at the Embassy Suites where we had about 400 of our airmen and their families, and they achieved the rank of senior non-commissioned officer. And prior to going into that ceremony, I ran into a soldier in the lobby just as I had gotten to the hotel, and that soldier was Lieutenant Keith McDaniel. Keith, the lieutenant, he's one of the guys flying the helicopters out this morning. Where you at, Keith? Anyway, okay, he's back here. But in his arms, he had this little bundle of joy, and it was his daughter. And I asked Keith if I could hold his daughter just for a few minutes, and we got our picture made, and it brought back a lot of memories. It brought back memories of the many times that I deployed, and I had to tell that little bundle of joy goodbye. And it really brings home a guardsman, a military serviceman, of when they leave and they leave their families behind, and we're not going to forget your families while you're gone. We're not going to forget you. We're not going to forget your children. We're going to make sure that they're well taken care of. But it's in that lieutenant, there were the days that his father, that used to work for me, Chief Master Sergeant retired Mark McDaniel, who's sitting right up there, that held that little bundle of joy that's now one of my soldiers. And he had to tell that little bundle of joy goodbye as he went off to defend this great nation. So, Keith, I thank you. I thank your family. I thank all the soldiers and families, and we will look after you while your loved ones are gone. Okay, our governor, our boss, our commander-in-chief, he's our friend. He's a friend of all of the veterans. He's a friend of the military, and I say that because he has done so much in the few years that he's been our commander-in-chief to support our veterans. You look at everything he's doing in Veterans Affairs, and one of our own, Lieutenant Colonel Matt Sneed, who's the director of Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs. They're just making incredible strides for the military of this great state. And he'll probably speak about it here in a few minutes, but he recognizes the hard work, the dedication, and the commitment that you, and the sacrifice that you make to this state and country. But he is a bona fide, card-carrying, certified advocate for our strength and our military community. With that being said, it's my honor to introduce to our soldiers and airmen and all of our military veterans in the audience today, our Commander-in-Chief, our Governor, the Honorable Asa Hutchinson.
Thank you, General Berry. I wanted to make sure that this deployment did not take place without my presence here, my salute to you, and my expression of thanks on behalf of the people of Arkansas. Soldiers of the National Guard, you are the ones that we count upon as a state in times of emergency. But during this time you're being deployed, it is our country that calls upon you and relies upon you, and you have the gratitude not just for you, the men and women of the Arkansas National Guard that's being deployed, but also the family members that are here and for the sacrifices that are made from a family standpoint. Then I also want to remember the employers who and others that cover the spot and work that allows this deployment to take place. And we all make sacrifices, but those that are going on the front line certainly deserve our thanks, and I wanted to express my appreciation to you. I look back, I was speaking with one of the fathers actually who was previously deployed, I think it was in 2005, which made me think back on where I was in 2005, and I was at Homeland Security. The President asked me to serve at Homeland Security in that time frame after 9/11, and I was always asked, how is it that we have not had another terrorist attack? And we went for many years without another terrorist attack on our soil. And you always want to take a little credit that Homeland Security did something good, but I knew better. And the answer was that because we have our men and women in the military who are forward deployed fighting the enemy. And today it's a little bit different climate, but not much different. And so the forward deployment is what really keeps our nation safe. And so thank you for what you do. We have a legislative session going on, and I know Congressman Hill's going back to Washington to fight the battle there. I want to tell you one thing that we're doing that I hope that you think is good. And that is, we're going to sign into law next week a bill that will exempt military retirement income from Arkansas state tax. Now that means that if you retire in the military down the road and you stay in there and serve our country long enough, then we're going to say, welcome home, come back, and we won't tax those retirement benefits. That's a benefit to you, it's a recognition of your service, but also be an economic boon for our state. General Berry, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this ceremony. Godspeed, and God bless the United States. You, the men and women of the Arkansas National Guard that's being deployed, but also the family members that are here and the sacrifices that are made from a family standpoint. Then I also want to remember the employers. And so the forward deployment is what really keeps our nation safe. And so thank you for what you do. We have a legislative session going on. I know Congressman Hill's going back to Washington to fight the battle there. I want to tell you one thing that we're doing that I hope that you think is good. And that is, we're going to sign into law next week a bill that will exempt military retirement income from Arkansas state tax. Now that means that if you retire in the military down the road, you stay in there and serve our country long enough, we're going to say, welcome home, come back, we won't tax those retirement benefits.
Thank all the family members here for your sacrifice. You all are the silent heroes.
We focus on the mission, watch each other's backs, and bring everybody home safe. Good luck.
Sergeant James Hall with the 449 Aviation Support Battalion. I'm a 15 Tango UH-60 maintenance repair.
Okay, James, what are you doing? Your unit's about to deploy. Can you tell us anything about that?
We're getting ready to deploy. We're going to Fort Hood, Texas for MOBUP. From there, we'll be leaving for our duty station in the Middle East. Right now, I'm spending as much time with my family as I can and go on from there.
Okay. What exactly is your unit going to be doing once y'all get deployed to your forward station?
For the 449th Aviation, once we're in theater, we'll be handling all the ground maintenance for UH-60 Blackhawks. It'll be phases, anything that's AVM or AVUM will be done by us. And we'll just support the whole theater of CENTCOM for aviation assets.
Okay. Ma'am, how do you feel about his deployment?
It's sad, but I'm proud.
Okay. Have y'all done anything to prepare for this deployment? Are you going to be able to communicate at all while you're gone?
Yes.
Skype, is that an option?
Yeah, we got Skype and Facebook Messenger that we got. If we have a decent internet connection over there, not known yet how that's going to be. But as long as we have that, we'll be good to communicate. If not, we'll use snail mail and write letters.
Okay. If you had anything to say to any of your buddies back home, what would that be?
To all my buddies back home, keep doing what you're doing, keep up the good fight, and we'll see you guys in about a year.